Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Greeley, and I want to begin our time together today on a personal note. So, want to ask, what kinds of roles do you play in your life? What adjectives or categories would others use to describe you? This can be a hard question to answer, and since I can't hear anyone's thoughts or answers through this really nice video camera, I'm gonna have you all write down your responses, either on your booklet, that if you got one during this series, a blank sheet of paper that you have, or even in the chat if you're watching this with an online group. Here are the questions again. What kinds of roles do you play in your life? How might others describe you using adjectives or categories? If I were to answer these two questions, I would probably describe myself with some titles or roles that I have in life, such as a professional counselor, a woman, a wife, a dog mom. I mean, come on, how cute is my huge puppy? When I think of how others would describe me, they might say that I'm a daughter, sister, friend, or volunteer. You might have also described yourself using adjectives like funny, smart, kind. There are many different ways we can describe ourselves, and many ways we think others perceive us. We naturally put ourselves and others into categories, labels, boxes, because it's easier for us to make sense of. And if we're able to attach a label or a category to something or someone, it becomes easier to understand. But what happens when we misjudge someone and put them in the wrong category? What happens when we make a first impression that's different than who we actually think we are? What happens if we are just plain wrong about how we describe someone? Or maybe they were wrong about how they described us. Jesus was incredibly misunderstood. You will read more about all of the mislabels, misjudgments, and wrong first impressions that are made about Jesus, and how he shatters categories, labels, boxes, and ceilings. The Jewish people in Jesus' time were promised a Messiah, a Savior, a King that would deliver them from their oppression and suffering and help their people. They described this future king as a majestic warrior, a strong fighter that would take down their enemies. What did they get with Jesus? A poor carpenter that befriended sinners, hung out with the lame and sick, and had no worldly power or authority whatsoever. Even the people who spent the most time with Jesus while he lived on earth were conflicted about who he actually was and whether he was the promised king and Messiah, or whether he was just a lowly man. In this passage you will read shortly, Jesus asked this profound question to his closest followers and friends. Who do you say that I am? Throughout tonight and the rest of this series, we are going to wrestle with who Jesus is and what it means to get to know him as he really is. You may be surprised at who you discover him to be, and that's the way he wants it. Feel free to struggle, doubt, wrestle, and question during this series. Jesus wants a relationship with us, and that means that we need to get to know each other first. Enjoy the journey. The real Jesus is on the other side, and he's worth it.